I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite Kickstarter campaign on the internet. Well, I guess I'm best known for my work on the Mass Effect trilogy as Commander Shepard, although I also voice a number of other characters in the trilogy, including all of the Vorcha. Anytime you see a Vorcha, it is me. All of the Hanar, including Blasto. Several Volus, including the Biotic God, Niftu Cal, and of course the multiplayer Volus and Vorcha as well. A few random Quarians, I think a Krogan or two. I don't think I ever did a Turian, but I did do some Mercs, so I'm all over Mass Effect. I did a fair bit of work in the Dragon Age games. I'm on Dragon Age 1 as some werewolves and merchants and whatnot. A lot of the DLC I did work on. There's also Dragon Age Awakenings, where I played all of the talking Darkspawn. And in Dragon Age 2, I played Jathan, the male elf prostitute, and Hybris, the pride demon. And then many other games from BioWare, including the Baldur's Gate games, and Neverwinter Nights, Jade Empire, and more recently the Baldur's Gate Enhanced Editions with Overhaul games. So we've already done Baldur's Gate 1, and Baldur's Gate 2 should be coming out a few months from now. And I actually had one line in the final cutscene of the game, so you had to beat the entire game to see me.
There is no reason to be concerned. The fate of this fool has been sealed.
So things have sort of come full circle with my most recent work being Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition. Well, of course, the only thing you have is your voice, so you aren't able to use your physicality and whatnot to convey the character. Of course, within the Mass Effect games, the particular challenge was that Commander Shepard was completely defined by the player character, and so we really relied on our directors, both myself and Jennifer Hale, who played the female Commander Shepard.
Grunt will strengthen Clan Urdnot. Name our target and it will die.
To keep us on track as far as where we were in the story and emotionally and that sort of thing. And so, of course, you couldn't have too extreme emotions because some people might not play all Paragon or all Renegade. And so to keep from seeming like you were having wild mood swings, then you kind of had to rely on your director for that. We never really met until very late in the process. I met Jennifer at the end of 2011, and it was actually at a convention, EXPCon in Florida. So we never really had direct contact. We, tweeted a couple of times back and forth and talked on the phone. But there wasn't a period where we were in the same city for a long period of time. But we did often have, it would depend whether I recorded first or Jennifer recorded first. Sometimes we'd have the other person's soundtrack to go from. In the case of Commander Shepard, I was working on Mass Effect before I was cast as Commander Shepard, so I had some background information on the world already. I'd originally been hired to determine how all the alien races would sound and sort of develop actor sound sets for people who'd be playing Solarians or Volus or whatnot. This was before Commander Shepard was cast. This was very early stages, so everything, things hadn't been written. This was still in the concept stage. They were just, building from the ground up, and so because I was brought on, I got to see the Mass Effect universe kind of get built around me. And then during that process, I was asked to audition for Commander Shepard, and I really didn't think I was going to get it. I just thought, well, that's all well and good, but we know that someone from Los Angeles will be playing Commander Shepard, and I'll play a bunch of aliens. And then, the process went along further, and I got a call back, so I went back for callback auditions, and kept getting called back, and then eventually got cast. So I got to play Commander Shepard and a bunch of aliens. Oh, I'm sorry. My dog is, there's a thunderstorm and my dog is getting a little antsy. See? Often you won't even get concept art. In the case of Commander Shepard, I'd seen the default Commander Shepard and some of the concept art for the rest of the series. And of course, the alien races, when I was designing or helping design how they would sound, I had that to go from. Often in video games, you're going in with essentially a cold read. You might know a little bit about your character, but you probably won't get to see the scene before you're actually in the recording booth. And so that's where my improv background actually comes in very handy. Well, given that, Commander Shepard helped pay for my mortgage, I'd have to pick Mass Effect. That's the game that I did the most work on. So it was many, many hours of recording dialogue for Commander Shepard. So yeah, I'd be remiss if I did not say Mass Effect. That said, of course, I had a great time doing the Dragon Age games and whatnot. And as I mentioned, I'm a Dungeons & Dragons player, so I did enjoy the Baldur's Gate stuff. Yeah, video games are pretty fun to work in general. Well, we used a system called Veda, so if you were recording second in a scene, you'd have the other actor's performance to work from. I suppose if you recorded first, you'd have the advantage of setting the tone, and the other person would be reacting to your performance. So we weren't always acting into a vacuum, but you do have to use your imagination, just like when you're doing green screen work. Well, a gentleman named Nico got a hold of me through the internet. And passed on some information on the project, and it seemed like something I'd be interested in, and it was really just that simple, and here we are today. Well, it happens sometimes, certainly, and it depends on the project, of course, and if I'm free, and other factors. But yeah, in this case, it was a project that appealed to me, and I do enjoy supporting independent projects. Most recently, I did a project with the University of Advancing Technology in Arizona, who did a Mass Effect fan film as their class project for the digital video program. And that was great. They were also willing to put off shooting for several months until I had a hole in my schedule, but I went down to Arizona for a few days, and it was in the cause of education, so I enjoyed doing that. And certainly, Kickstarter campaigns and things like that, I try to lend them my support when I can. Because, I'm a fan as well. Well, I really like the combination of the sort of fantasy genre with the early Industrial Revolution technology and that sort of steampunk feel. So I think that's going to be a fun game to play. My character is currently known only as the Captain, and he's going to be the commanding officer who sort of issues missions, sends people out into the field. And I think he'll be sort of tough as nails. That's what I'm leaning towards. Maybe with a soft interior. We'll see. We'll see. Well, I have put in a request to voice some of the antagonists. I do have quite a bit of experience voicing goblins and orcs and things like that from my work on Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights games and Dragon Age, of course. So I wouldn't mind doing a few screams of pain and cries of battle.